Hey guys, Morton here. Today I just want to go through a video on why I think for beginners especially, the Caro-Kann is a really good opening for you to play against 1e4 when you're starting out, and especially if you're stuck and not sure what to do, because a lot of the responses that white is going to play against you are really not that dangerous, and it cuts down on a lot of work compared to say e4, e5, where even though you get into sort of the more traditional positions, white has a lot of different gambits and all these tricky opening ideas which you have to deal with. Whereas after the move pawn to c6, white commonly plays a few options here. For example, after the move pawn to d4, you play the move pawn to d5, challenging the center, and a lot of opponents here are probably just going to take the pawn. But after the exchange, let's say bishop to d3, knight to c6, pawn to c3, knight to f6, most people are just going to develop their pieces and allow you to get a very comfortable position from the opening. Also, your plans from there on are pretty straightforward and pretty basic, like to attack in the center later on with e5, or push your queenside pawns up the board to attack the pawns on the queen side. But the main thing is that we're getting out of the opening relatively quickly and very safely. After the move pawn to e5, I recommend to beginners that you start out with the move pawn to c5, because a lot of opponents here are going to sort of allow you to get a very good French defense. For example, they might play the move pawn to c3, allowing you to just develop the knight and then get the bishop outside the pawn chain. Also, if they capture the pawn, most of the time when you play knight c6, they're not going to play the critical lines with bishop to b5. They will develop their knight or push their pawn to f4, allowing you to once again develop your bishop out. Often you'll be able to push e6 and capture the pawn. Once you become more experienced, of course, you can start to explore other variations such as bishop to f5 and expand your understanding from there. But when you're starting out, I think this is good enough. And likewise with the move knight to f3, I see this played quite often, and after the move pawn to d5, a lot of beginners often play the move pawn to e5 here, allowing black to play bishop g4 and get a really comfortable French defense structure here from the black side. Likewise, if they go knight c3, again we go bishop to g4, and after h3 takes, queen takes, e6, we just have a very solid pawn formation here, and most often than not, you'll get out of the opening completely fine, and you'll just get into the middle game where you can focus on playing chess from there. So this is why I recommend the Caro-Kann, especially at beginner level. Leave your feedbacks and comments below if you have any. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.